It is Monday, March 30th, 2026. This is the first Monday edition of Baseball Today in our regular season. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. My God, it was so good to have baseball back for the whole weekend, and it did not disappoint, my friend.
There's so much to talk about, Chris. It is opening day, weekend, whatever you want to call it. Just so much baseball and so much good things. There's like young people having success. Some of the olds were just crushing it. Some of the teams we wanted to show up showed up. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Blake Butera. Are we going to talk about Tony Vitello? I don't know. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, let's start with one of the OGs, one of the old heads, if you will. Andrew McCutchen has a new uniform. Texas Rangers. He hit his 333rd career home run. It came against one of the teams that he has previously played for, the Philadelphia Phillies. An amazing interaction after he crossed home plate with one of the locals on hand. Listen to this.
Everything he was hitting apparently in spring training, he was hitting hard. And
yeah, he tends to, most of his.
Yeah, Kutch, you've got to be kidding me, the guy said. And he gives it the Jordan shoulder shrug. I'm sorry. That we need more of that.
We need more Kutch, man. I talked about it a little bit today with Jake about, the Pirates kind of like not bringing him back, and maybe they should have. He ends up signing late with the Rangers, has that big moment, and then he has another hit against Yohan Duran. Like he's still got some life in him.
He does. But let's get to more of the amazing sights and sounds of weekend number one.
Good vibes, 2-2. Fly ball to deep right! It is way back and down!
Rockies trying to salvage the series. Casey swings. Casey hits it in the air. Casey to deep right! We're going home!
This one into left center for a base hit. Lucas around third, and the Blue Jays win it again. Dom Smith hits it deep to right field. Back on it, and what a way to close. Walk-off grand slam in his Braves debut.
And Robert lines one, deep left center field. Back goes Reynolds to the warning track, looks up, and it's out of here! Luis Robert Jr. with a walk-off three-run homer in the bottom of the 11th.
Wow. Wow is right. It started that little rip with Christian Yelich, his first ever career pinch hit home run. And how about his reaction afterward, dude?
It was awesome. I feel like you hit that, it's gone. And then he's not like a celebrate pimp a homer type of guy. But I think he's like, oh, I just did that right there. Okay. That was great.
Yeah. There was some other awesome moments. Owen Casey, who I think is just going to be a stud for the Marlins, came over in the offseason trade with the Cubs with the walk-off there. Toronto had back-to-back walk-offs on Friday and Saturday. Not bad as they ended up sweeping the A's. We'll talk more about them in just a second. The Dom Smith one, if you don't know the story, his mom had died 13 days prior to him hitting that walk-off grand slam. First game in a Braves uni for him. That one will just pull at your heartstrings, brother.
It did, yeah. He's had a lot of stuff go on, obviously, with his mom. Wasn't sure if he was going to be on the team, off the team, split contract. He's had a crazy couple of weeks here. There's no doubt about that. But great moment for him and his family.
Yeah, but let's continue the discussion with Luis Robert, who has the walk-off for the Mets, part of a huge weekend. New York ends up taking 2 out of 3 from Pittsburgh. What is your confidence level that Luis Robert will finally reach the stratosphere that we have fully expected out of him?
I don't know if superstar is the right term, and it could turn into that. Like my confidence level on that scale of 1 to 10 is of 4. I don't know, 3 or 4. But he has, as we've talked about with a lot of these center fielders, like he's got a very safe floor, very high floor. Like go do your thing defensively, and kind of like whatever offense you show up with is a bonus. I think that's what like Mets fans were hoping for, or maybe not hoping for. That's what they can expect. You can hope for superstar. Like if this guy goes out and hits 30 homers while playing elite center field, is that superstar? I think it like is bordering on it, and it would not surprise me if we saw a Luis Robert 30 home run season this year.
Well, he had a 38 homer season a couple years ago, and that's when we thought that he was just going to take off and explode. Instead, it's just gone the other direction. The last 2 years, basically a 660 OPS. 660? Plouffe, that's horrific. To me, it's not good enough for the Mets if he's just like solid defensively and provides a little bit of pop. He's got to be way better than that. And I'm not sure he can get there. I'm worried. The guy's played more than 110 games in a year once.
It's just, I don't know, man. I've said it before. The motivation factor is something. Like, when's the last time he felt like that in a baseball game, hitting this homer and be like, I'm part of something that's like, it's team oriented, not just me trying to put up numbers as we're losing a ton of games with the White Sox. Like, this feeling right there, that motivates people. And look, I understand it's about him being on the field. And you know, you just can't really. I know with him, he hasn't done it a bunch. But if he has, I don't know. There's just something about that feeling that I feel like we're gonna see it. If I had to guess, like just overall like slash line and kind of like worth for him, I say we see at least like a 3.5 WAR player out of Luis Robert this year.
Okay, so over under 739 OPS.
Over. I think we see over. Yeah. I'm thinking high 7s for him, maybe touching low 8s.
Wow.
I do.
That would be a sensational season for him because he just doesn't produce like that in years.
More people on base in front of him. Again, playing for something. There are just a lot of things that you may not think they mean a ton or shouldn't, and you should just be professional and go and do your business every day. It's just there is that motivational factor that truly I think will spark him.
Yeah, and also there's going to be less expected out of him, right? I mean, they're paying one guy $800 million, they're paying another guy $340 million to go produce. There's other dudes that they can rely on. So whereas he was kind of the focal point for Chicago for the last several years, and he's the guy that other teams circle saying, okay, if somebody else beats us, fine, but we're going to make really Luis Robert, work in order to beat us. I don't think that's going to be the case here. I hope it happens for him. I like it when the Mets are good and part of the story.
Batting fifth, like I said, just guys in front getting on.
Right.
Like coming up with runners in scoring position, that helps your case.
One of the guys that the Mets are definitely trying to rely on is their free agent acquisition, Bo Bichette. It was not a great weekend for him, just 1 for 11 with 7 strikeouts. Things sounded a little bit like this.
Blew him away with a fastball at 100 miles an hour. So after getting in trouble, Montgomery strikes out Soto and Bichette back-to-back to keep it tied.
The booze catch you off guard at all, or kind of comes with the territory at this point?
No, if anything, I thought it took too long. But, I mean, I get it. I thought my at-bats were terrible, too, so.
Okay. D- performance, A+ answer.
Absolutely. I mean, that is exactly how you answer that question. That's what the fans want to hear. Just ownership. Yeah, I didn't play well, but also not sulking. Like he had, you can see the confidence in him. He understands. He's like, I'm a hitter. I'll hit. I'll be okay. And yeah, like you said, like A+ answer. That's how you handle the media right there.
He's a freaking stud, and he's exactly the type of bat that they need in this lineup. It's the reason that the Phillies were so pissed off when he said no, because he was exactly the type of bat that they need him. I mean, he is a guy that will put the ball in play, go gap to gap for you. We saw what he did last year when he didn't have any playoff at bats. Basically, he didn't have it at bat for a month, and he comes into the World Series raking. Could have been the hero in Game 7 off of Shohei as well. Like, he is a stud and a half.
Yeah.
So he'll be fine. Mets, let us know where you are headspace-wise. I know you wanted to sweep, just like the Cross City guys, the other New York team, whom we'll talk about momentarily. All right, wearing the Blue Jays cap today. What a freaking show. They dominated every aspect of the game, but particularly pitching, right? It went from Gausman to Cease to Lauer. 50 strikeouts of the, don't call them Sacramento Athletics. That is a 3-game series record to start a year. First of all, can we have a little talk with the A's? How the fuck do you strike out 50 times?
I mean, there's some good pitchers they're facing right now. I think Gausman.
50.
I understand it's a lot. They need to tone that down a little bit. Gausman is one of the guys that I think he's an underrated, star pitcher in this game. And then you got Dylan Cease now throwing like 4 or 5 different pitches, kind of like known as the 2-pitch guy, but now he's kind of changing the repertoire a little bit, learning a changeup, sinker going this way. Like, you face some pretty good starters to start the year. I mean, yes, do you want to strike out 50 times? Absolutely not. But I think
No.
there's a little bit more of like a tip of the cap to these Blue Jay guys, in my opinion.
Hey, Dan, while I'm talking about what happened, go back and get a tight shot of Cease with the hair and the mustache. It is an incredible, incredible look. So just kind of line that up if you can for me. Sorry, I know that's a late ad. The A's, by the way, they played 29 innings because of a couple extra innings. How many of them do you think they had at least one strikeout in out of the 29 innings that they played?
I feel like every single one. 28, I'll go.
27.
Okay. It was a lot.
That's pretty horrible.
I mean, look, hey, Kevin Gossman has led the league in strikeouts per 9 before. Like, Dylan Cease's, that's what he does as a pitcher. Like, so, you know, there's that.
Oh, I'm not saying, look, you're right. They're going against two of the best strikeout pitchers. Now, Lauer, I don't think is really known as one, and he got another 9 strikeouts in the bullpen for the most part for the Blue Jays was great. Oh, my God. That mustache, it looks like from this angle, and I apologize to everybody, it's audio only, but we're showing this picture, so hop on our YouTube so you can see this. It looks like he put his mustache on crooked.
I think there's like some of his hair flowing in the back as well that adds to the mustache. But I mean, that I said this to Jake because we kind of talked about this too. Like, that guy's loaded. You can only look like that if you're loaded.
I don't know. I've seen some people that aren't loaded in the Los Angeles area.
I guess that's true. That's true. He's trying to hide it or something. I don't know.
Blue Jays, you know, I try and do like a preseason pecking order. In the American League, are they the most balanced team, like 1 through 26 going into this thing?
I mean, the Yankees looked pretty damn good.
Right.
You know, the Mariners had to go up against your Guardians and the world beater Chase DeLauder. I mean, a lot of teams looked good. I would say most complete team. It's them Yankees or Mariners. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you can throw them in the air.
Yeah. Maybe
Blue Jays
they're the most complete team. I don't know. Like if Vladdy hits like he can hit, maybe they are the most complete team because I think they play defense better than any team that we mentioned. I mean, I know they play defense better.
Nice soft launch for them. They go A's and then Rockies, their first 2 series out of the gate. We're excited for a week from now. Plenty of baseball in between, but that's when the Dodgers come to Toronto next Monday.
Who's got the worst bullpen of those 3 teams? Is it the Blue Jays? Is it the Yankees?
No, I don't think it's the Yankees now.
You like the Yankees pen.
But I don't think they're the worst of the 3. You know me, Hoffman with the gopher ball. It still scares the bejesus out of me.
I'm a huge Louis Varland fan, but he also gives up some homers.
Mm-hmm. And I like Seattle's pen.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Andres Munoz guy.
Okay.
I don't know.
They're the most complete team?
You know what it is? They still have some guys that have to prove it, like Nathan Lucas. Great year last year. That was his first real opportunity to play. They still have like a bunch of guys like Barger.
The overall number's not great for Barger, but you could just tell it's coming.
Yes. But first real opportunity to play meaningful baseball last year. You could almost say the same for Ernie Clement over the last
same thing. Yes.
Year and a half. I mean, the guy went from a bit player in Major League Baseball to having the most playoff hits in a single playoff series. And I'm not saying they can't do it, but I think they probably out of those 3 teams have the most unproven.
Yeah.
Maybe Seattle. Maybe there's a few guys that Seattle's going to depend on, but they have no, I'm going to take that back. No, I think it's Toronto that has the most to prove.
I think
but also a ton of talent. Rank those 3 for us in the comments, if you don't mind. Real quickly on Seattle. I just want to throw this out there that last night Hancock was filthy. 6 no-hit innings against my Guardians. You know, this wasn't even supposed to be his start. If Bryce Miller's okay, you know, he's the 6th starter. Jason Benetti talked about that he feels like he's more than a 6th starter. But in this rotation, that's exactly what he is. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's got some prove it stuff in him as well. Like the sweeper is filthy, the low arm angle is interesting, but again, yeah, he's kind of fighting for a spot in that rotation. But you throw up zeros like he did, I mean, you're going to continue to find yourself in ball games.
Yep. And they will take on the New York Yankees, which we will talk about momentarily. But I want to let everybody know that today's episode is sponsored by Joy Mode. Endurance athletes don't talk about this, but heavy training can quietly impact sexual performance. Long cardio, high cortisol, poor sleep, they all hit the same systems that control blood flow and hormones. And when circulation drops, performance drops. Joy Mode, it was created because Big Pharma was pushing too many men to prescriptions they didn't need, and most guys didn't know there was actually a natural solution. Joy Mode supports nitric oxide production, which can naturally help improve circulation. No forcing, no overrides. And did you know 83% of men taking Joy Mode daily noticed a boost in sexual performance, and 73% of men using the product noticed a positive effect with no prior ED symptoms. You tear open a packet, you mix it with 6 to 8 ounces of water like an electrolyte packet, and you're good to go. And if you want to support sexual performance the same way you support training and recovery, naturally, intelligently, Joy Mode has a deal for our listeners. You head on over to tryjoymode.com/today or enter today at checkout for 20% off. Joy Mode, the pre-workout for your blood flow. All right. We're moving on to the Pacific Northwest. That is the next stop for the New York Yankees. They stomped on the San Francisco Giants in a 3-game sweep. The pitchers were dominant, back-to-back shutouts before they actually gave up a run, but still won the series finale 3-1. So that means that San Francisco rookie skipper Tony Vitello, he is still looking for win number 1 at the major league level and looking for answers.
I'd kind of put it on me a little bit, get all fire and brimstone a few days ago. And, I think some good words were shared, but I also think as of right now, it's a little emotional in there, and there's definitely a lot of try hard. So regardless of what the root of it is, you guys know the guys in the lineup as well or better than I do. There's guys that are fully capable in there. And at this point, one argument, again, I'll kind of use a bunch of dudes having a beer at a bar, the results or numbers look like there's not a lot of try hard, but kind of the old baseball adage, there's probably too much.
For people that are audio only, I wish you could see the look on Plouffe's face. You okay?
That is like, I'm giving this guy time. Okay. What I don't know what he just said. That's a word salad of nothing right there. Like, he just needs to stop. Like, somebody needs to say, Tony, stop. Like, answer just a little less. Because he said it's all on me, fire and brimstone, the old baseball adage of try hard, guys at the bar having beers. None of it made sense to me. I'm really trying, dude. Kyle Gibson, one of my best baseball buddies, loves Tony Vitello. He keeps telling me he's a good guy. You love him. Everything I hear from this guy, I don't understand. I want to tell him, stop. Like, he needs help.
He needs help.
He needs, yes, with his
does he need his own PR agent?
Yes, with his post-game press conferences, he needs help. It ain't working what he's doing. And, like, obviously, like, how much effect does he have on the field? Almost none. Okay, so, like, it's not his fault they're losing games. They didn't hit at all. He's not doing that. But he's not helping himself at all, man, with what's going on. Calling his the guys try hard, having Robbie Ray being like, I don't know, like, it's just the second game of the season, we'll be okay. Like, he needs to just, again, like, when he wants to say something, he should take a pause and think about it. Because I feel like there's, like, zero filter, and he just kind of rambles off the top, and it hasn't been a good look. I don't know how you could say otherwise.
Yeah, you know me, how excited I've been for this, but he does sound like a guy who's trying to prove himself virtually with every press conference. And that's a tough way to go, man. It is tough. It would have been great if he just said, hey, yeah, we got our ass kicked. I believe in our bats. We're going to do it. Like, you don't have to bring up to me, that was one of the mistakes that Mark DeRosa made during the World Baseball Classic, was kind of telling us a little too much of what happened behind the scenes. Like, hey, we hung out, we had beers with the guys, and they looked a little sleepy. Like that stuff, that's all fine to have go on if that's the way that you want to run your clubhouse. But don't tell the world, because it just gives them another tentacle to talk about. And he didn't need to talk about the fire and brimstone speech that he gave. That can be up to other people if they wanted to share it. Like, he doesn't.
It doesn't work with this team, Chris. The fire and brimstone speech with a team full of veterans that all, I mean, these guys are loaded, have had massive success in the league. Like, think about the people that are on the San Francisco Giants. They don't need a college rah-rah type speech. They don't need that. These are legit some of the best players in the world and have proven it at the big league level. They don't need that. They do not need that.
While I think you're probably right, and you definitely know what it's like to sit in a clubhouse, and I don't, the reports were it didn't go over poorly. The speech, guys weren't rolling their eyes, at least the reports that I saw. But I just think the point of sharing it was weird. And you're right. He did hit on a bunch of things, and it just felt all over the place in a 38-second soundbite.
Yeah, and he did. The one thing that really I thought was interesting and strange is like, this is a lot more of managing than I thought. Like he said, I want to be a coach. I'm a coach. And it's like, I mean, did you know like the job application, like what it said, like what it entails? Like it's a managing personalities position. It's a managing the media position. You are not a coach. Very rarely are you going to be in the thick of it. You got a lot of other stuff to deal with. You're a manager.
Get it? Yeah. You know, there were people who wanted him to pinch hit for Jung-Hoo Lee, you know, lefty on lefty. And he said, no, this is one of our guys. I'm going to do that. He ended up pinch running for Willie Adames. Adames was asked about it afterward. He said, it was the first time I've ever had that happen to me. He goes, but he's the manager. That's okay. Like, I think he was pissed, but he said all the right things. So we'll see, you know, see if they can get on the right track here. Take a deep breath, get win number one. I think that'll alleviate some of the issues. Part of the deal is they're going against a pitching staff that looks freaking filthy. And I think the narrative was coming out of spring training, hey, let's wait a few weeks for Carlos Rodon to get back. Let's wait a few weeks after that for Garrett Cole to get back before we judge this team pitching staff-wise. Did we underestimate them a little bit, those New York Yankees?
Maybe not underestimate. I mean, we did see Max Fried do it. Cam Schlittler we saw last year, and he's a stud. I think when we said all that was just like, this is going to be a premier, if not the premier pitching staff when those guys get back, because they do already have other options too to go along with it. I mean, some of it you can chalk up to, hey, first series Giants didn't do well, but I think a lot of it, yeah, you are tipping your cap to what the Yankees were able to do. And you get a guy like Schlittler, if he's as good as we saw from him last year than this first start, I mean, yeah, we are going to be talking about one of the premier franchises in baseball to go along with what was the best offense in baseball last year. So we're if you're a Yankee fan, pretty stoked how opening weekend went, because you saw Aaron Judge struggle first game. I mentioned this, a lot of people who shouldn't be talking about baseball talking about Aaron Judge, and then obviously we saw what he did the second two games. So a great start for the Yanks.
Denting an ambulance. Send him. Hopefully, we'll run his insurance, and he'll have it covered exactly 17%.
You got to leave the dent, right? That's pretty cool.
Oh, hell yeah!
Like, go sign the. He needs to go sign that and like
sign the dent. Yeah, just like Harrison Bader did the food truck. I'm in. Yeah. I love that idea. To me, it's all about the bullpen and how good it can be. I mean, I think David Bednar is, you know, he's a guy that a lot of people weren't familiar with because he did a lot of his work in Pittsburgh, and you know. People don't see that because they stopped paying attention to Pirates baseball after the month of May in recent years occasionally. I think the key is Duvall.
Yep.
Right? And I don't know if he looked so great because he was back in San Francisco where he did most of his exemplary work. But when he got traded to the Yankees last year, he looked nothing like this. We're showing his weekend in San Francisco. He got to the point where Aaron Boone couldn't trust him. And he has to be a trustworthy arm throughout the regular season and then when they make the playoffs, because he can be such a difference maker. When you throw 103, the ball moves like the way that he has it moving, that's one of those guys who you circle and you say, yep, he's the X factor. When we all do the X factor in a playoff series, he's one of the names that should come up. But last year he was no factor.
It's the ability to locate and command his pitches, because obviously the stuff is there, but 2024 first percentile in walk percentage, 2025 third percentile in walk percentage, like you just can't do that.
Yeah,
and put extra guys on base. Like you have to be able to attack guys, put them away, and that's what we saw at least to start the season.
So it's really the three guys they traded for last year. Bednar, who did a nice job for him, Duvall, who was not good, and Jake Bird, who was a non-factor. He pitched 3 games for him last year.
Oof.
And got shipped out and had a 27 ERA. He's not in the same breath as Duvall. He is not. But he's a guy that is definitely going to go out there, and when he is right and when he was good with Colorado, is a guy that could give you those middle innings. And that is so important, particularly when we get to the middle of the summer. So those are the 3 guys I'm going to be watching with the New York Yankees. All right. It is time right now for Packing the Park. That's where we're going to look at players and storylines that are getting fans into the stadiums. It is brought to you by our friends over at SeatGeek. And I got to tell you, people are going to be packing the stadium to check out this youthful exuberance, right? J.J. Weatherholt, a guy that hit a home run on opening day and then also had a walk-off for the Cardinals. We talked a bit about Kevin McGonigal on Friday's show. 4 hits in his big league debut, had his first home run taken away in the outfield by Jackson Merrill. But then there's 2 other guys in the American League Central that are certainly wowing us.
Swung on, hit high and deep to left. Arozarena backtrack. Wall gone! Chase DeLauder's done it again!
Yes, he did. 4 home runs in his first 3 big league games to tie Trevor Story for the most in the modern era to get a career started. Murakami, by the way, can equal that in his 4th game. See, or it could also be the first one to homer in his first 4 games. It's pretty good. So he can't do the 4 in 3 games. He can do homer in his first 4 games. There we go. Let's clear it out. Yeah, thank you. So with Murakami, he only got a 2-year, $34 million deal. Do you think that there are, and he had to settle for the south side of Chicago, which is in a massive rebuild. Do you think that there are going to be contending teams that are going to watch this guy and say, damn it, why didn't we offer him more money or more years?
Yeah, of course there are, Chris. I mean, that was such an interesting part of the offseason, was talking about him and, hey, this guy's got crazy pop. We think it's going to translate, but there's also a ton of swing and miss, so maybe it won't translate. In the end, I mean, when you have a chance to get a guy that can put the ball in the seats like him, I think you take it. And for the White Sox to be the team that signs him to the 2-year deal, like I don't know if we ever got, like, were other teams in at that price, or were the White Sox just kind of like the offer? I know Chicago has like kind of become a home to some Japanese stars. Now we got Imanaga, we got Seiya Suzuki. So like, was there talk about, hey, like Chicago's a good place to come play, like come over here? Maybe there's something there. I don't know. Like, do you know, were there more offers at 2 years? We didn't really ever hear that. But yeah, to answer your question, there's going to be a bunch of teams who are probably going to go try to pry him from the White Sox at the trade deadline if he continues to hit like this and put balls in the seats. I mean, if I'm the White Sox, I'm 100% looking at the deadline being like, hey, what do you guys got? He's not for sale, but he could be for the right price.
Yeah, by the way, his pop is no joke.
It's legit.
Man. That's fun. And he's 26 years old. There's a handful of teams. I just wrote down a couple, right? I thought Seattle would have made sense. Now, they ended up trading for Brendan Donovan, who I think was maybe the trade of the offseason, but you give up a pair of former first-round pitchers. And even if you wanted to bring Donovan on board, you could have played him somewhere else. This is the first time he's really playing third base, although I know that Cole Young had a really nice series against Cleveland. They love him, and he's 22. So I get it, but you could have presumably put Murakami over at third base. The Reds, before they brought back Eugenio Suarez, I know that they were looking for right-handed pop. This guy's a lefty, but still pop is pop. Arizona would have been interesting. Look, I love Carlos Santana. He's about to turn 41 years old. You couldn't have played this guy at first base?
I mean, virtually any team at that dollar amount fits. I mean, what about the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Right?
Like, yeah, that's where I go back. Like, how are other teams not interested at potential? Like, okay, talk about swing and miss stuff, whatever. A potential for 40 homers. The guys they'll grow on trees, man. There's not so many of those guys out there. And if we're looking at that, a 2-year commitment at a pretty reasonable number, like, you got to take the chance.
31 and a half homers is what I'm setting it at.
Over.
It's a lot.
I think over. I mean, he's got 3 already.
Yeah.
4 strikeouts, 4 walks. So, hey.
Yeah, that's the good number right there. That's impressive. Can we talk about my boy Chase DeLauter? There's people calling him DeSlaughter.
Ooh.
Like, you just got DeSlaughtered. No, you don't like that? A little too scary?
A little bit.
Not age appropriate for the youngins out there. I'll get to see him going down to Dodger Stadium today to go do a little work for dugout discussions. Looking forward to seeing him. The swing that he put against Andres Munoz.
That shouldn't happen.
Right?
Like, that's just an outlier type bat to ball guy. That's what he is. I mean, it doesn't look like he's up there trying to hit homers. He's trying to put the barrel on the ball, and he's got enough pop to do it. I mean, that pitch, the Andres Munoz one, I'm sure Dan's going to put it up here any second. It's up and away. 98 out of the strike zone, and just kind of he just puts the barrel to it. In Seattle.
It was funky. You know what it looked like? It looked like an old Tommy opposite field.
Oh, that's good. Good call.
Right?
Good call.
Yeah. That was some nasty stuff.
Now, you've called it. You said he's got to be the second best player, at least offensively, on the team. He's done that. Maybe the best hitter on the team to start the year. And I mean, if you are a Guardians fan, you'll take that split all day long up there. 4-game split in Seattle.
Yeah, unfortunately, the national streaming audience got a chance to see exactly what this offense. The question is, when's Travis Bazzana going to get up?
Okay,
like people have already turned on Gabriel Arias and said you can take the cover of your romantic novel Hair, although he's an exceptional defender, and if we don't see that, there it is. Yeah, that's a wicked swing.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
And that didn't just get over the wall either. That is funky, man.
There's a little Brad Miller in it.
Oh, Brad Miller. That's interesting. Call.
He had pop.
He did have pop. He had massive pop. All right. You can comment about any of those young guys that we saw this weekend. Yeah, the JJ Weather.
So many.
Stuff. There were, man. It's good. We're in a good spot as far as that goes. I dig it. Quick reminder, use the code BASEBALL2026, 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. Because when you type that in, it's actually going to go to your tickets, which is something I forgot to do. And so I didn't get the 10% discount when I paid for concert tickets coming up. Dumbass. Here we go. ABS system taking center stage. Everybody take a deep breath. This one's going to take a while. It started with our friend Salvador Perez over the weekend. He won several challenges Friday with Doug Eddings behind the plate. Salvi went 3 for 3 on the night, tapped his head, looked up at the board, bingo. By the way, Eddings was right on 2 Braves challenges that evening, so he wasn't horrible. Horrible. That can be a word used to describe perhaps the performance of CB Buckner, and I hate doing this, but Saturday in Cincinnati, it was rough. Veteran umpire had 6 overturned calls. That included consecutive pitches in an Eugenio Suarez at bat. The second one, Suarez taps his head, and Buckner was like, really? You're going to do that to me? Anyway, Red Sox skipper Alex Cora, he was actually ejected for Buckner while trying to keep Trevor Story in the game because of a check swing call that Buckner wouldn't appeal down to the first base umpire. Here is the Red Sox skipper on Buckner's day.
He has one job to do, is call balls and strikes. And, it wasn't his best day, and that's what the system does. It is out there. Everybody sees it, and he'll be the first one to accept it. I saw him putting his head down after one of the challenges, and we're all human. It's not easy.
What are you laughing at?
I just think about CB Buckner being like, not again. Darn it. Every time someone touches their head, man.
Talk about a guy losing confidence. We talk about players losing confidence all the time. This is the first time we're an umpire because you could always hide behind, well, the call stands. Now you can't.
Yeah, it's a little early to talk about this, but there's a chance we see a couple umpires just say, you know what, this isn't for me anymore. If this is going to continue to be for CB, if he goes 5 overturned calls a game, you can't stay in the game. You can't. Like he might ask to not do home plate.
You really think it'll get that bad?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Oh, I think so. And eventually, Chris, because we saw this, like you mentioned, with Trevor Story and a couple other guys too. Like, what's to stop them from being like, no, you didn't get in time. No, I'm not going to give you that challenge. I think we might see some of that if guys are getting so frustrated. Like, clearly, yeah, that you're trying to do your job, and getting overturned 5 times, you saw it wear on him. Alex Cora mentioned it right there, like head down. Like, I don't know. I think we might see some guys say, you know what, hand up, I'm not going to be behind the plate anymore. I truly believe that.
I don't think you can do that.
I think you can.
You can ask not to.
I think you can. Well, I think umpires do whatever they want. I think that there's no doubt. I'll say it right now. There's no doubt we see somebody do that this year.
Wouldn't that affect your pay though? If you can't do the most important position, wouldn't you have to say, I'm going to give up part of my pay? Or, isn't that like one of us not wanting to do one of the shows we're supposed to do? And we'll be like, yeah, just going to call it a day.
Still umpiring. I don't know. This is all new, Chris. We're going to see. So I even talked about it when we first talked about ABS. I said, you know what? There's going to come a day when we have these challenges, and it's going to be cinema. Like, it's going to be one of the better parts of the games. We talk about like people getting ejected, how fun that is. Like, and we saw it happen in Cincinnati. They said it was the biggest cheers of the game, not the homers, but like the overturned calls. Like, I thought it was great. The crowd was into it. I actually thought I was going to like it more. It's a little sad. Like, I get sad vibes from this.
Well, okay, so I can understand that. And I have chatted with umpires so far a little bit. A couple of them. And I'm trying to like cheer them up a little bit. I said, I think it's actually going to show how good most of you guys are. And we'll see. They do not like the embarrassment at all of it being on the big board, because nobody wants to be told that they're wrong. But I think once we iron this out a little bit, first of all, to me, I love it. You don't love it?
Love what part of it?
I love the idea of it because I'm sitting here trying to think about strategy. First of all, you can tell these teams have zero strategy.
Zero idea when to do it, when not to. Guys are terrified to challenge, I think.
No, not only that, they also don't think about it. The number of teams that are leading a game, let's say in the top of the 9th, let's say the road team's up 5-4, and a batter uses the last challenge at the plate when you should be saving it for your pitcher in the bottom of the 9th. They haven't thought about this at all.
No, I think we're gonna find systems that work. My thought on it, if I'm on the offensive side, is it's swing counts, not like necessarily save it for like the end of an at bat and a punch out, but like if it's a 1-1 count and you think it's a ball and you get now a 2-1 instead of a 1-2, maybe runners in scoring position, something like that. I think because those are the biggest discrepancies in batting averages, those swing counts, 1-0 to 2-0 or 1-0 to 1-1, or like I just said, like the 1-1, 2-1 or 1-2, like that, those change at bats more than anything. Like the swing counts, that's the biggest gap in batting average. I think we should use it more there. And then, yeah, like you do have to save it for some high leverage situations. But yeah, I agree. I think teams are just kind of like, I don't know, like here's a couple guys we think you should do it. There's no real system in place, it seems like.
Do you think we will get to the point this year where certain batters are not allowed to challenge
Yes.
at all? I think so too. Because the guys on your team who have zero idea where the strike zone is,
Yep.
and there's no way they should be using it, and they don't think about when to use it. Why would you use it on an 0-0 pitch?
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be more leverage counts. I also think pitchers are not going to challenge. I think eventually it's going to be like the catcher's got it, and he'll get you.
We did see Helsley do it, and that's what led to the Derek Shelton ejection. Kevin Brown's call on it was hilarious. The robot is undefeated.
Yeah.
That was some funny stuff. By the way, if you're keeping score, 54% of the calls so far have been overturned out of 175 attempts. Batters, not good. 42% overturn rate. The fielders, which is predominantly the catchers, who have been excellent, 63%. It also goes to show you when we get mad at the umpires and what they're doing, the catchers don't always get it right, and the batters don't always get it right.
Some of these we're talking a fraction of an inch.
Absolutely. But there was one I saw that was 2.5 inches.
Even think about that, Chris. It's this much.
Yeah. I know. You're right. Good point. What do we think about the ABS system? Are you digging it? There's a lot of people that are not huge baseball fans on social media that are talking about it. They love it. They really enjoy it. So I'm all for it.
This is the slipperiest slope of all time. Like we're not going to have home plate umpires soon.
Oh, really? You think there's just going to be robots back there?
Wow. I think this is.
Well, who's making the call at the plate? Who's going to make the call at the plate then?
We might have a guy back there. I don't know if he's calling balls and strikes anymore. You know what I mean? Like he might just be like back there along the back wall and ready for a play at the plate. I don't know.
So he'll be just like a ball boy, and if there's a ball hit to the gap, or he's got to beat the runner from third on a play home, infield in. Let's see. We'll put our fastest umpires back there.
I don't love that, Chris. I love umpires. I love the human element of it. But when you're seeing this happen in real time, just the logical part of my brain goes, we're eventually not going to have these guys calling balls and strikes.
All right. I dig it. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 just in terms of the interest factor and the strategy that has to take place, which has not happened yet. So I've got a lot of stuff that we have room to grow and get better with it. But I love the idea. I want to hear what everybody else is thinking about it there in the comments section. Hey, today's episode, it is sponsored by MLB The Show. MLB The Show 2026. It's here, and it's incorporating the great World Baseball Classic that we just had. You can take on real-life World Baseball Classic teams from all over the world with your Diamond Dynasty squad in the online mode. You can step up to the plate in the brand-new World Baseball Classic ballparks. Had games in the Tokyo Dome and Estadio Hiram Bithorn down in Puerto Rico. That's a part of the game. Additional 2026 game features include the Road to the Show, Road to Cooperstown, where you can build your legacy from the start of high school all the way up to the Hall of Fame and career mode. Also, the Negro Leagues mode returns for Season 4 with all new legends, uniforms, and stadiums as well. And get this, if you visit mlbthe.show/jomboy, use the code JOMBOY, you can unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. Internet connection is required for that, but it's really, really cool. Available now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S as in Steve, and X as in X-Ray, and Nintendo Switch, and it is rated E for everyone. Oh, my goodness.
We got some visitors.
Hi, Isla. Hi. How are you, beautiful?
You can get in the shot.
Who else is in the shot? Hello.
We're at the beach. They're waiting for their dad to come down and play and do some
we got one more
stuff.
Isla, we got one more topic, and I promise Daddy will be back to being Daddy. This is on me, not on your dad. Still love your daddy. You can blame your Uncle Chris, okay?
She knows I got work. It's fine. Get out of here, girls.
I feel
Chris Rose. They got an Uncle Chris too.
Oh, sorry. Well, Uncle Chris is. We'll explain it.
Get out of here, girls.
All right. Of course, the Plouffe family from Southern California, and a couple of Southern California closer entrances opened some eyes and ears over the weekend.
And the Padres, number 22, Mason Miller.
Okay, that Mason Miller entrance to Korn, that's pretty good.
I love both of them. I love the live trumpet player. Is she just going to be there like all year long, or what's going on?
Right. She's got to be like a retainer on standby.
She's going to go to every home game, and just in case, she's going to get there. She's going to get to perform 50 times.
Well, he's going to get an opportunity to close 50 times at home.
I guess not at
year.
home. You're right. So no, not even 50. I was just thinking overall season, but you're right. Like 30 times, 25 times.
I felt like she got a little winded the first time, which I understand, playing live in front of a big crowd like
I
that.
thought it's awesome though. Like give me live
It is
music.
cool. Yeah, it's cool. I think Mets fans, don't ask Jolly about it. He's not happy.
Gosh.
And I get it.
You know what? When Yohan Duran went to the Phillies and I saw his entrance there too, I didn't like it. But guess what, dude? It's not the Mets entrance, it's their entrance.
Well, not only did Yohan Duran use it, the Twins gave them all of the graphics and the light show cues and everything else to help it so that he can continue to use it. I will say, like, I understand Jolly being sad about it and being upset because when LeBron left Cleveland, he used to do the powder and the whole thing. And then when he took it to Miami and then took it to LA with him, you're like, come on, man. That's supposed to be us. That's supposed to be our thing.
I've heard from multiple people that LeBron's just grinding on the golf course like 6 a.m, gets out there, just really wants to be good. So there's
you saw the commercial. You saw the commercial with him,
just grinding out there.
Yeah. Okay, here's some things that we didn't even have time to discuss. So just one line about each of them. Shane Baz, not a great debut for the Orioles against the Twins, but it's okay. He's rich. He got a 5-year, $68 million extension before even throwing his first pitch as a Bird. That catch you off guard?
I like it for both sides. He's, obviously setting himself up for life here, and the Orioles must see some things they really like in him and, feel like he's going to be a contributor for years to come. And honestly, if we're talking about a cheap deal for a starting pitcher, if you think this guy's a 3-starter or even a 5-starter, this is well within the range of that. So I like it for both sides, little bit of security, and then the Orioles are like, all right, let's lock this guy up.
Rough debut for him, but I think he's going to be good in the middle of that rotation. You just get him out of George Steinbrenner Field where he was not good with the Rays last year. I think he'll be just fine. Nico Horner, we talked about this on Friday. He was getting a 6-year extension. Now we got the dollar figure attached, $141 million. Did that number open your eyes?
I just think that's where we're at, as far as like free agents, and the guys he puts up WAR. So like, yeah, you might think of him differently because, maybe he doesn't have the offensive output that you're used to of guys getting this number, but like we have defensive metrics now and we know what he can do on the base pass. So like all that stuff matters. And I don't know, like I was a little shocked by the number, for being honest.
Yeah, guy's played more than 700 games and has fewer than 40 homers, and you don't equate $141 million with that type of ball player. But once again, we talked about it, that the Cubs have done an outstanding job solidifying their core moving forward. And he said, I would not have signed this extension if I didn't get my full no trade. And so he wants to be there, 29 years old, one of the best second basemen in all of baseball. It's a cool move. Joey Wiemer. Good for him and good for the Nationals, who took 2 of 3 on the north side against the Cubbies. He has reached base in all 8 plate appearances. Is this the year that the Joey Wiemer train takes off?
Opportunity, a new team, like, kind of a young vibe there. Shout out Blake Butera, the Nats, for taking care of business. I don't know. I like it. He's always had like the tools. Like the guy's like a fast twitch muscle type guy,
Yeah.
Showed it off.
Finally, Will Smith on Will Smith bobblehead night, Saturday night. Also happened to be his 31st birthday. Hits the go-ahead homer to give the Dodgers the win. He crushed it in the 8th inning. They're celebrating his go-ahead home run in the 11th inning in Toronto with the bobblehead, and he does it in real life. Dude is he is underrated, isn't he?
Yeah,
is he
yes,
rated?
Yes,
Right.
he is. He's not underrated. He's overshadowed, which I think is the better word for him.
Good one.
He's an absolute stud. I think everyone knows how good he is, but again, Cal Raleigh has this massive year as a catcher. He plays with Shohei and Mookie and Freddie, and So he gets a little overshadowed. But yeah, he's the one that hit the homer in the World Series. People talk about Miggy Rowe, and they talk about the Andy Pajes catch. What about the go-ahead homer?
It's a great call. A few things we're keeping our eye on for tonight. Speaking of the Dodgers, Roki Sasaki gets his first regular season start. He obviously struggled during the spring. We'll see how that goes against the Cleveland Guardians. Justin Verlander back in a Tigers uniform tonight as they hit the road and taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are still looking for win number 1. Tony Vitello, he's looking for win number 1 down in San Diego. And the Yankees and the Mariners in a little late night ball. We will be discussing that bright and early on Tuesday's show. Plouffe, enjoy the day off with your family. We love that. Jolly Olive is going to be there so that Isla's daddy can be the full-time daddy that he definitely deserves to be during spring break, and we love that. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented daddy, Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We will see you Tuesday with Jolly Olive here on Baseball Today.